Hello there. Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. This is Runke. Welcome to day 2 of the Thrive Easy Summit. And if you're just joining us, catch the replay for day 1 is right above this video. And right now, let's just get to it. Today, I have an esteemed guest. I'm sure you can already see her, and she'll be joining us. And today, we'll be talking about all things joy, right? All things joy. So she'll be talking about our personal experience, and we'll just be gisting. Basically, this is just a chat session. So as if you, in case, let me just say a little bit about this summit. This summit is the aim is to just talk about major topics on personal development, on self-improvement, and for us to see how we can get better, we can improve in these aspects, and be conscious and be deliberate about those parts of our lives. So without further ado, I like to keep things really short and simple, and not take too much time with everything we do. So I'll go to my guest. I've not said her name. My name is Funke Marquis. Welcome, Funke. Hello. Funke, are you there? Hi. Okay, so Funke, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Okay. She has already introduced my name, but my name is actually Funke Marquis. I like to be called Funke, but I'm fondly called Funke. So I am a mother of 2. I'm actually a salesperson, and I just got promoted as a regional sales manager in my company. So yes, I've been a salesperson for over 6 years of my life. So my core is sales. Other things I have interest in, I like dancing. I'm not really the cooking type. I like dancing. I like talking, and I like having to talk with people to know what they are feeling, who they are, and how their challenges, how I can be a solution to them. And I like my customers. I like the market. You can't see me in jobs. I'm not an office person. I like my 12. I like my Okiari. I like my trade fair market. So basically, this is just me, a salesperson. And what I do when I'm not selling, it's either I'm dancing, it's either I'm talking to one person, it's either I'm playing a game, but not cooking.
Awesome. Thank you for that tiny information. Okay, so let's just get right to it. So you said you like dancing and all those things, and which makes you a perfect person to be talking about joy, like all things joy. So what is your definition of joy?
Joy is when you can express yourself, not looking at your shortcomings, not looking at your good parts, but you can express yourself beyond others. You can bring out that innate you without having any siege or any embargo, without having any limitation. Expressing yourself unlimited or limitlessly. So you can actually be yourself. You are unashamed to express who you truly are. You are unashamed to identify with what makes you tick. You are unashamed to be you. Joy is about being you despite the disadvantages around and still thriving while in that disadvantaged situation. So that's what I see joy as.
That is so awesome. Thank you so much for that. And I like the thriving parts, like, things would, never be perfect, right? And I like your definition that joy is when you can still feel that blissfulness despite all the challenges, going on around you. So, which leads me to, my next question. And that is what challenges have you faced, like on your journey, on your personal development journey? Because joy is a big part of of everything, of life, of us. So in over time, your experiences, what are the and as somebody that likes to be happy and all of that, I would really like you to share with us today what challenges you have faced or that you might still be facing. in as regards to joy?
Okay, so basically, my challenge started from when I was very little. I am the firstborn, we are four girls, and there's this mentality that so much is expected from the firstborn. So I envisaged or brought about a false idea of what a firstborn should be. I felt I should be everything. So it felt like I was carrying a whole weight on my shoulder. It felt like I had to be different things to different people. I had to be different things to my parents to make them feel, yes, I was a responsible firstborn. I had to be a sister to my sisters because we are all girls, for them to see that I was actually in that, I could actually fit in. I was struggling. I wanted to fit in. I really wanted to get in that space where everybody looks at me like, okay, this is the perfect sister, but or perfect daughter or perfect friend. I went out of my way to do things that it wasn't even pleasing to me, and at the end of the day, I got disappreciated for it. But at some point, I had to talk to myself that the best gift I can give to myself and others is being myself and enjoying who I am. It is actually doing the things that works for me. So when I am full, I now give people the overflow. I think people enjoy the overflow because they are taking from the already full you. But when you're already outgone, when you are exhausted, trying to please this, trying to please this, trying to please this, that is a killer, that is a thief of joy. And it got to a point, Yoruba mothers, ọmọ ẹni yìí ti ṣègbà, ọmọ ẹni yìí ti ṣàwo, ẹgbẹ́ lẹ́yìn méjèèjì. You get, so comparison is truly the thief of joy. So those things rang in my head, and I kept myself on a fast lane, an imaginary fast lane in my head. And it totally shattered my journey. It totally shattered the kind of person I felt I could be. I've always loved dancing. I wanted to go to a dancing school. My mom always had this idea that people who dance are actually prostitutes. So it was like I was living in a shadow of myself. But the moment, I've not gotten to that point where I was, but the moment I started coming into realization that it is just me and my unique self, it is just who I am that I need to get focused on. I started discovering that people even started liking that me without even trying to force it. People started understanding, okay, this is what she was, this is who she is. And I discovered that I got happier and people around me got happier, because sometimes when I get exhausted, I just get moody. I just start looking, and that moodiness is not good for anybody. It sends a negative vibe. So being me is actually the key to my joy. Doing it enjoyable. Well, my challenges, yeah, I started when I was a kid. Even when I started a business when I was about 28. I started a fashion business because I'm actually fashion inclined. My dad started worrying me. He's a doctor, he's a gynecologist. There's this 23-year-old girl that they rushed to the hospital. She has fibroids all in her belly, this one, that one, that one. So living people's dream, it was basically the beginning of my challenge, because it wasn't my voice talking to me now. It was a voice from externalities. And at the end of the day, the race is yours. Everybody, whether you're a twin, everybody has their own peculiar race. And you solve it the way it appeals to you, not the way it appeals to someone else. Don't get me wrong. Most of family members and friends, they think they want the best for you. But what they think is the best for you might actually be a joy killer to you. So you have to figure out your own what, your own why, your own how, instead of theirs, and do it the way it works for you. I usually say one thing to myself: the world will part ways for a man who knows where he is going to. That's it. So I believe I've answered that question.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Funke. In fact, you've answered it more than I expected, because I was also going to ask you that apart from your journey, I was going to say, okay, let us bring out the lessons that you have learned, and and that you would want to share with other people, because even when we think like, okay, we know so much, we've been here, we now do this, this thing that we're talking about, development, improvement, it is a continuous journey. Like you don't get there and just, you know,
Yes.
okay, you're there. At every point in time, you need to, check. Um, where am I going next? What do I need? There's always something that you're going to be needing, even though like it's just one topic, like it's just to enjoy. Even if it's like, oh, productivity,
One thing, yeah.
just done. But the more you grow, the more you need, and the more, challenges. No, not more now. Different sets of, of challenges will come. Different sets of, maybe you need different set of strategies to cope with them. So I wanted to just say that, okay, over the year, over time, like on your journey, what can you highlight, like the major lessons? Let's say three major lessons that you were able to. I know you said most of it. That when you were telling us, the story of your journey, you said it. But can you just try to quickly just highlight maybe three major lessons, and when you highlight it, would talk about it, and then would try to discuss about strategies that we currently use to make sure that we are doing the best we can with our lives under the circumstances that we find ourselves. So don't let me talk too much. So then let's just tackle the three major lessons that we want to share with people right now.
Okay. So personally, the first lesson I learned is you have to learn to come to terms with yourself. And you have to learn to be real with yourself. And it's all encompassing in one fact that you have to be true to yourself and be selfish about yourself. I am not saying be selfish to people, but always make sure you come first. That's the key lesson. If you can put yourself first, like I said, you will keep feeling yourself, and people that look up to you, you can as well give them the overflow. For example, if you're a mother, if you are not in a good mental state, that is, if your mental health is low, you will take it all out of your kids. And the truth is, you are trying to spin a vicious circle because you are instilling some things that those kids are seeing, but you don't know, and you start raising broken kids. So you have to put you first. You have to ensure that you are filling yourself up with the right ingredients you need to become you. You have to be selfish about your growth. You have to be selfish about your development. You have to be selfish about basic things that matter to you. Then another thing is not to compare. Understand one thing. There's one thing I had to understand lately. People's journey are different. Even twins, a twin, their journeys are different. People's timing is different. What works for people is different. Some people can do things and get away with it. You might try it and you might not get away with it. So if you learn to stay on your own lane and do things according to how it works for you, I think it's better. Then another thing is go at your own pace. That's one lesson I've learned. Nobody is rushing you. There's no hard and fast rule. There's nobody chasing you. Go at your own pace. So my first one is be you, put you first. The second one is do not compare. The third one is go at your own pace. No matter what the pressure is, have a sane moment, have a sane part of yourself that takes you away from the pressures of the world, pressures of friends, pressures of family. Have your own, it might be in your car. It might be, you might have to go to your car to a silent place where you can connect with yourself. Ask yourself, what is it that you really want? Go at your own pace. If your friend is reading one book in a day, if your pace is one leaf in a day, read that one leaf in a day and read it well. And above all, I will sum it that whatever you do, make sure you do it well. If you are moving like a snail, make sure you are moving well. If you are moving like a dog, like a horse, make sure you are doing it well. Whatever you are doing, and be soft for yourself. It's not every time things go the way you want, but be kind to yourself. Most times we have these imaginations in our mind and we push ourselves. And at the end of the day, when you push yourself in, you can't actually give out. You just get frustrated and burnt out. So that is That is all I would say in short, my lessons.
All right, thank you so much. That's even more than three. So thank you so much. I think it's really, really important for us to be ourselves, to be our most authentic self, because when you are yourself, you're free. And when you're free, you're not, when you're free, you are, 100% present and 100% capable of doing amazing things. But when you have to take some things into consideration, too many things, he kind of hampers everything. He hampers your joy, he hampers your productivity, he affects a lot. So thank you so much for sharing. Now I'm going to ask you we are going to go to this part, this I don't know what to call it. For many of us, even fine, a lot of people still maybe they are beginners on their self-improvement journey or personal development. They are just beginners. But then there are quite a number of people. I've met a lot of amazing people, young women like us who have, been on this journey. They've been trying to, be conscious, be deliberate about, their improvement and all of that. And like I said, you don't get there. You are always like a work in progress, right? So this is going to lead me to the question I'm about to ask you, and that is, at every point in time, is not, even though you know a lot of things, knowing things is different from practicing them.
Yes.
Yes, and there are a lot of things that we know to be the right thing. We know this is how you should handle this, but we are unable to, for some reason or the other. So, which means that at every point in time, we have our struggles, we have, challenges, but then we are probably in a very good place because it's okay that at least you know what you should be doing. You are just not able, maybe because of it's hard, doing the right things, doing the things that will move you forward is really, really hard. Even when you have that map like right in front of you, it's so hard. So I want to just ask you, like, what are the things that you know so well? Everybody could be okay. This is, as by being joyful, these are the things, these are the guidelines, these are the, this is the way to go, the path to follow. But somehow it's still really, really hard to do. So if you have some of those things, I don't know if you would, want to share with us, and if you can share like specific examples and all of that, just for us to learn, and then for people to know that, what, we are not alone. We are not alone. Everybody just, trying hard to be better than we were yesterday. We are trying hard to improve. We are just trying to make it work. Nobody has it all figured out. Just to, tell somebody watching, and most of us probably have the same set of struggles. You would agree with me that sometimes you talk to somebody and a struggle that you have, but you are not really comfortable with sharing with others. But the moment you just say it out, you just say that you are not alone. People say, "Oh, me too. Oh, me too." So this is what I'm asking. So please share with us.
Okay. Thank you. So, like I always say, there is no one template fits all when it comes to joy. Joy is individual. What gives you joy is different from what gives me joy. And what takes joy from me, my joy taker, is different from what takes joy from you. For some people, it might be when their happy place is what gives them joy. For some people, it's being at peace with themselves. That is what gives them joy. So there is no one template. But what I can tell people is, when you are open-minded, being open-minded means you have the mind, you have a mind to process things and see situations for what they really are. Because many a times what we do is we react instead of responding. We react what it truly is. And you are truthful enough to yourself to analyze what the situation is. Analyze that, okay, what is this? Break it down. What is this situation? What is this thing teaching me? What am I learning from it? But many a times, as humans, our first point of call is being defensive. When something happens, somebody says, my mother's father did me, somebody this, we tie a lot of negativity to it. And we now make the problem or the challenge look bigger than what it is. But when you are open-minded, understanding that even the Bible says, would you expect good and not expect bad? That means from the beginning of creation, there is a phenomenon of good and bad. And as we human beings, we have to have that open mind to understand that life happens. But when life happens, do you let it get the better part of you? Or do you turn it, like people say, turn their lemonade, make lemonade out of their lives? Is that what you do? So many of us, our first reaction is being defensive. Our first reaction is being, something is attacking me, something is doing this. But as humans, for us to truly be joyful, we have to have an open mind and understand the fact
That's true. That's true.
Whatever situation that comes your way, always think of a solution approach and always open your mind that every lesson is a lesson for future messages. So every lesson you learn lessens your future mess.
Awesome. So Funke, are you going to share, like, I like what you have just said, because being open-minded is everything. In fact, I tell people that if you really want to grow, you have to be open-minded, because if you're not receiving new things, you are just going to remain where you are, right? Yes. So what are some of these things, like, that you still struggle with, that you still find it so hard to do?
Okay, so let me give an example. Okay, for someone like me, I've never shared this, but I'll be sharing it here so that you can understand me. Okay, so I got married in the year 2017, and it wasn't what you would call a very rosy union from the onset. So I discovered that I lost myself. It got to a point that there was a day I was driving and hit a car. In fact, when I was crying, the woman whose car I hit had to tell me to start going. There are times I'll forget food while I'm cooking because my mind wasn't in tune. It was taking the better part of me. It affected me that it was so obvious in my performance. Imagine someone that has been performing very well and you just suddenly dropped. I didn't have time to take care of myself. In fact, I lost my job in PZ. And you won't believe that the month I lost my job in PZ, I won an award for the best performer in the month of January 2019. I took first. We were three. I was the one that took first. And it was February 22nd that they told me that I had lost my job. Because my mind wasn't in tune. I practically lost myself.
That must have been so hard. I can just imagine how hard that was, right?
For me, I lost too much. That 2019. 2019 was when I officially lost my marriage. 2019, I was pregnant. I had my child with jaundice. 2019, I lost my job. So 2019 was a really crazy year for me. So one thing my mom did was she got me my first piece of land as a gift to make me happy, but it wasn't. My 30th birthday was off it. I never want to remember my 30th birthday. 30th birthday should be a beginning of unbecomings, but for me, it looked like life wasn't it.
I'm so sorry about all that, Funke.
Yes, life happened. But at some point, I needed to talk to me, like, Funke, who are you? Forget you were married, forget you were this, you were that. Who are you aside of all this? I have to tell myself that truth. I have to look at it. I saw that my sisters look up to me. There are so many people that look up to me, and I'm like, you can't afford to fail. You can't afford to allow this situation to bring you down. I can show you my before picture and my after picture. If you saw my picture in 2019 and you see my picture now, you will know there's a huge difference. Then
Thank you so much. I can imagine. I know you've obviously been through a lot, and you're a very strong woman, and I'm sure that what you have shared would at least impact a lot of people, that you can always get back on track when things happen to you. You can always find your joy back, because obviously now you're doing well, you look well, and
yeah.
Yeah, but you still not answered my question. Like right now in 2021, as regards to joy, right? You know all the practices like love yourself, self-care, do this, do that. Can you just maybe just list, because we need to round up quickly, just list maybe 2, 3 that you still find challenging, that you're still trying to struggle with as regards to finding your joy and maintaining your joy, because you might be happy today and then tomorrow will be a totally different ball game. That's how it works. So every day is a new day. So every day you have to reaffirm and restart and go for it kind of thing. So like on a day-to-day basis, let's say like this 2021, what have been your challenges as regards to joy?
Okay, so for me, I say self-love. Self-love is actually a journey. I still struggle with it. And the truth is, you can't get the love you deserve if you don't give yourself the love you deserve. So I still struggle with that part of self-love. I still struggle with putting myself first. Because I've always had this mentality of being a provider, being a nurturer, being a giver. So I've not gotten to that part of being receptive. I'm still struggling with bringing down my masculine energy and tuning up my feminine energy. And for you to be feminine, you have to be more receptive. You have to understand that you are supposed to be taken care of. So I still struggle with that part. And it affects a lot of my decisions most of the time. Because if you struggle with self-love, when people give you a piece of them or take that piece of them from you, it affects your own peace. But when you love yourself, the peace of a person will not affect your peace. So the first thing is, for me, is I still struggle with self-love. I still struggle with self-awareness. I've not even finished unraveling me to know who I am and what I'm capable of. I'm still testing the waters. Then most of these issues affect my decisions. So I find myself making decisions maybe out of pity, out of gratitude, or out of the belief that for this person to have done this thing, this person overachieved this. Whatever happens to me is I have this, it's too good. Like for someone to do this thing, I don't believe like I deserve it, you get. I deserve everything. So I'm still trying to place myself to that value, give myself, raise my standards to that place that would attract the kind of space I want to be, the kind of people I want to mingle with. But like I said, self-love is a journey, self-awareness is a journey, raising your standards is a journey. So it's so for you to even know that you have not gotten to that space is a form of self-awareness. So it's a gradual thing. So those are the things I struggle with.
Okay, thank you so much. That is really, really helpful because self-love, self-worth, and self-awareness is a really, really big thing for, I think, for women. I'm not really sure about men though, but I think for a lot of people is really big. It's huge to unlocking the next level part of you. So I'm just hoping that somebody watching this would and people who also struggle with this. I also have my moments. I also struggle with self-worth and self-love and self-awareness. And like you said, it's a journey, so there's nothing to be ashamed about. You understand? Every day you know more things, you understand yourself better. The way God has created us is so amazing that I think till you are 60, till you are 70, you still be discovering parts of yourself. It's so amazing. So nobody should actually feel bad that 30 or at 40 you don't know yourself, that well. We are a complex design by God. And it should be a joy to get to know parts of yourself daily. So thank you so much for sharing. So I have another question. I want to talk about membership and community for women. We have I have and you we've been together. We've been in like the same circle for the past 1 year, and we've been with other women where we interact on a almost daily basis. So I want us to talk about that. Like, do you think that memberships and close circles and inner circles like that, do you think it has like an effect on joy? and generally like your inner joy? Do you think there's a relationship between, you know, the kind of people you surround yourself with and, you know, how you experience joy? So that's my first question. It's a two-part question. So that's the first part. Do you think, you know, it has an effect? And if so, can you just highlight the different, you know, hows, the different ways that you think, you know, he probably makes a difference?
Okay. So being in a community, I think is the best thing that can ever happen to anybody. Now, let me tell you the reason why. When you're a community of women, or probably men, single mom, single dad, whatever community you are in, it gives you this mindset that you are not alone. Because different people in that community, when they start sharing their stories, you find out that there are some that are exactly like yours, if not yours. So everybody comes together and draws strength. That place, you'll find people that they've gone through that stage you've gone through, and they can share ideas, practical ideas that worked for them, and you can try it and it may work for you. Aside even the ideas working, there's a proverb that says a problem shared is a problem solved. I think people feel more comfortable being in a community wherein you guys are just getting to know yourself because you feel like you guys have a common problem. So you can feel free to share whatever you are facing. There's no body shaming, there's no problem shaming or anything. Unlike going to go and meet one family relative and that person start telling you, are you sure you are not the one that did this? Especially for women, are you sure you are not the one? But when you go to a place that there's no judgment, everybody can express themselves, it makes you safer, it makes you saner. Because when you lift up that burden off your mind, you find that you are relaxed, even if you don't have a solution, but you find out that you feel relieved. So I think anybody should find a community. If you are feeling depressed, find a community that helps depressed people. Find a community that is in line with yours, with the issue you are having, and it does a great deal. Then for the second part, which is what is the benefit, or if I'm right, what is the benefit of being in a community, if I'm right?
Yes.
Now, the benefit of being like I am in Square Peg Wonder, I'm in different communities that has to do with women. There's one I'm about joining on self-awareness from Joy Isibewaji. Now, that community, for example, Square Peg Wonder, it has made me realize that my worth is not tied to anything. My worth is tied to the mental picture of who I think I am. And it has made me realize that I am strong enough for anything. I can face anything. So it has given me that strength. It has given me that confidence that I don't even need, because at times when you get lonely, you might start making wrong choices. So I can get a place where I can easily rant, I can vent, where I can even laugh, because the virtual community, people come there, they drop jokes, you just laugh and you are happy. Even down to kids, when your kids are having problems, you can throw it on the platform. Who has experienced this? There will be one person that has experienced that can provide a solution. Even when it comes to buying things, where can you get these things? Where can you get that thing? Then even when it comes to your celebrations, you see people that will cheer you up, people that will cheer you up. When it even comes to taking a risk, you see people that will tell you, this risk is worth it, take it. This one is not worth it, take it. You see people that talk to you about budgeting for a single mom, how to make financial plans, how to do this. So you get better. But if you find yourself in a community that it is not making you get better, I will advise you go. But if you're in a community that is making you better, I think there are a lot of advantages because you can't do it on your own. There will always be someone somewhere that will help you. So it's always good to find the right community and belong and participate.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So I'm so glad that you came and you have shared with us. You've obviously been through so much. You have a lot of experiences that that are very valuable and are full of wisdom and lessons. And I want to really appreciate you for your time and for being here. So the one of the major reasons for this summit is to encourage self-improvement. And a part of that is because I am about to in a few days, that's on Monday, I'm going to launch a membership called Thrive Easy Club, which is going to focus on joy, how to how to keep being joyful no matter what, how to be resilient, have the right mindset, and then it's going to also focus on productivity, how to achieve more, how to structure your life, your children, how to parent, so that you can get smash those goals back to back. And then of course, money is very important. So how to have more financial financial knowledge, budgeting and investing, no matter how little you earn, like you should know all these things. Be budgeting, you should be saving, you should be investing, and all of that. So the membership is going to launch on Monday, and I'm happy that you've been in several memberships, member several circles and communities that provide value. So Thrive Easy Club is going to do all of this. It's for women, and it is going to make sure that you are growing at the right place. So thank you so much, Funke. I don't want to prolong this any longer. So thank you. I hope that next time you come, because we have to do this more often, maybe on Instagram or maybe on Facebook Live. Discussing with you is so fun.
My dance studio.
All right. So I would be saying bye now. Do you have any last, any parting words for the people watching us?
Okay, so my last words or my parting word for anybody watching me is: you are not alone. You are not alone, and you hold the key to your joy. Don't let anybody steal your joy. Don't give anybody that key. Hold the key to your joy. Everybody has different journeys. Everybody has different life. Live your life and live it best. That's my parting word.
All right, thank you, Funke. Thank you so much. I'm so glad to to have you. All right, I'll be saying bye now.